Welcome to the 45th episode of my podcast, Open Conversations. I am your host, Young Bella. And today's going to be kind of like a short, clip episode. Just going to be going over the Eastern Western Conference All-Star reserves. They just recently named the starters yesterday. And got to do a vid on that. Who I thought was going to be the starters or just my full-on roster like I usually do. But I do have some time in between to name my reserves before the NBA officially announce their reserves. And so let's get right into it. Eastern Conference All-Star reserves. So just yesterday they named their the starters for the NBA All-Star Game 2025, which was starting point guard and Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell at the 2, Jason Tatum at the 3, Karl Towns at the 4, and then Giannis at the 5. So that was the Eastern Conference All-Stars. They're going to be officially announcing the All-Star reserves next Thursday. So I'm going to obviously give y'all my list of All-Star reserves that I have selected that I think deserve to be on this, represent the East. So I have my reserves list, and then I got a I guess somewhat of like some injured reserves who I think, or people who I think maybe some guys might get picked from this list of guys that might not get picked, that I actually picked, type of thing. So to start off, I think I got Darius Garland in there. He's been balling out, helping the Cleveland Cavaliers be the 1 seed. Obviously, he got his teammate Mitchell starting. I think Garland definitely is deserving, being that they're number 1 in the East, 36-7, best record in the league. I definitely think Darius Garland's definitely deserving. Then second, I'm going with LaMelo Ball, who had the popular vote, but Jalen Brunson edged him out with the total votes. But LaMelo Ball having a great year. He's been healthy. The only reason why I think he hasn't been back in the All-Star game over the past 2 years is because of injury. And I think this year he will be back, at All-Star weekend playing on the team. And, he's been having just a great year. Then I got to go Cade Cunningham. Really, really has been the driving force of the Detroit Pistons team. Been able to really, carry the load offensively, averaging about 24.5 points a game, around that to about 25. Then he's averaging, I want to say like 9.4 assists. You know what I'm saying? So that's, 25-9. Great stats doing, and then, what he's doing on the court, it definitely has been impactful and effective for this Detroit Pistons team. Been a fan of Cade. And so I definitely think he's deserving. Then I'm going Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown averaging about 23, 5, and 6. Having a really good year. Obviously the running mate of Jay Tatum. He got Celtics number 2 seed at 31-14. I definitely think that the Celtics deserve at least 2 All-Stars, if not maybe 3, but definitely 2 for sure. And I think, Jaylen Brown is that second guy that I think should be on the team. Then I'm gonna go Dame Lillard. Been great for the Bucks this year. Him and Giannis building that rapport. I want to say the top one, definitely top 2 scoring duo in the league between them and Jalen Brunson and Karl Towns. Have doing really good. They started off slow, but they bounced back in number 4 seed, 25-17. So Dame Lillard. Then I gotta go Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley, I think, is deserving as well, having a good season, averaging somewhere around like 18-9, 18-10. Really good, considering that this is a very good Cavaliers team, best record in the league. Evan Mobley's been a big part of that. You know what I mean? And then lastly, for my team, I gotta go Trae Young. Trae Young. Right now, they Atlanta Hawks is 22-22 AFC in the East. I definitely think he been playing very well, leading the league in assists, averaging a little over 20 points, 12 assists. And balling. I mean, they've kind of been on a somewhat of a loser streak in recent time. They kind of have made some digression because throughout the season they were like hovering around the 5th seed. But I think this is a Atlanta team that's going to be very competitive. But Trae Young's been balling, having a great year in my opinion. Still the driving force for that Atlanta Hawks team. So yeah, then so that completes my list. Those are 7 guys I got representing the East. I definitely really feel like this is a very, very accurate list. Like this is definitely like if it sways from this list, I'm gonna be very, surprised. Maybe 1 or 2 guys might not be on this list. But I definitely think this is the other 7 guys that are going to represent the East in the All-Star reserves. And some guys that maybe have some, chance, or maybe they might get in. And one of the guys that I mentioned don't get in, Tyler Hero. He's been playing very well, somewhere like 20, averaging about 24-5. Bam could get in there. Who's another guy that they might be able to get in there? Jared Allen is a guy that might, get in there. They might give Cleveland 4 All-Stars or something like that. Those are the only other guys I think that they might give that. Maxey, I don't, he's been playing very well, but I don't think they're gonna he's gonna get in because the Sixers record isn't very good. They're 11th seed. But those are the guys I think that might, have a chance. Paolo probably should have been in there, but he's been injured in recent. The Wagner brothers. But those 7 guys I think are definitely locked in for Eastern Conference All-Star reserves. I really couldn't imagine anything different than what I just named. He's definitely the guys that, like without question. So, yeah. Western Conference All-Star reserves. So they named the All-Star starters yesterday, and that included Stephen Curry, at the one. Then he has Shea Gill as the two guard, off guard with Steph in the backcourt. Then you got to go. Then you go Kevin Durant. They had in there LeBron James, and then lastly Nikola Jokic to round out the starters. Now it's time for my reserves that I have. Um, this is, I definitely think I'm pretty much accurate with these 7 guys. Like this is definitely a very good list. I'm very, very confident, happy with my list of all stars. And then obviously I'm gonna name some guys that may get in or are injury reserve type, whatever situation. These guys might actually fill in one of these spots from one of the 7 guys I named. But starting with Jalen Williams, the Oklahoma City Thunder, he's been playing very well. Probably if Chet was healthy, he probably joined them in an All-Star. But I definitely think Jalen Williams been a big factor of why OKC is the #1 seed in the Western Conference, 36-8, averaging 20 plus. Rebounding, assisting. He's been playing very well. So Jalen Williams, I definitely think he should be in there. Then I'm going Ja Morant, having a very great year. The points isn't as high as it has been in his previous years, but he's averaging a little over 20 points a game, averaging somewhere around 8 or 9 assists, something like that. But he's had so many highlight plays this year. He's, in my opinion, had more highlight plays this year than he had in any other of his past years. And then, he's also been one of the big contributing factors, if not the biggest contributing factor, for why the Memphis Grizzlies are the 3rd seed in the West at 29-15. I think he's the best player on that team, without question. So Ja Morant should definitely be in there. And then also the joint I got Ant Edwards. He got somewhat of the team has taken a step back from last year, but nonetheless he's been having a great year, especially over like the past 15 games. He's had a couple 40-pointers, high 30-point games. Been just balling. Still got the Timberwolves in the playoffs contention. But nonetheless, having a all-star year. Then I'm going Wembanyama. He's definitely taken a step up from last year. The hype that was projected on him has been very accurate, and it's great to see, man, that the hype that was pushed on him, that was hyped, has actually like panned out. Like he's really been that guy, that was the media was saying the best prospect since LeBron James and stuff like that. Like it's really been that with Wemby. Averaging like 25, 11, like 3-4 blocks, steals, assists, getting 4 or 5 assists, something like that. Been just balling. Yeah, very deserving. Then I'm going Kyrie Irving, having a very great year. He averaged like around like 24, 25, 5 assists. Been healthy. One of the main reasons for why Dallas is number 7 in the West. And just been balling and been very quiet and chill about it. Just been doing his thing. And you already know Kyrie's. You always want to see Kyrie in an All-Star game. Like, who wouldn't want to see Kyrie Irving in the All-Star game, man. Um, it would just be great to have him there, and he's obviously having a great season. And then I'm going Jalen Green for the Houston Rockets. Got him in there. Best player on this Houston Rockets team. Um, so he's the primary reason why um, the Houston Rockets are 29-14. Um, you know, it's just Sengun and Dylan Brooks and those guys have helped, but are major factors. But Jalen Green's the best player on that team, and I think he's very deserving for to represent that team at All Star. You know what I'm saying? You got him at number 2 in the West. So Jalen Green. Then lastly, going Jaren Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Probably the second best player on that Memphis Grizzlies team. The second most impactful guy on that team. And so therefore he's a main, very big contributor. The Grizzlies being 29-15 right now, third in the West. I think Grizzlies are very deserving to have 2 guys represent them in the West. Given the seasons that these 2, both Ja and Jaren are having, like very, very good seasons. And I think that rounds out my list. I think some guys that can get in there that I didn't mention or fit in my personal injury reserve list. AD, he started out killing in the beginning of the season. I think he was leading the league in scoring at one point, but kind of the numbers kind of went down, injuries. So that's kind of one of the main reasons I didn't really have him on there. James Harden is having an All-Star caliber year. You know what I'm saying? He's having an All-Star caliber year. He's the best player on the LA Clippers. He's the primary reason why the Clippers are number 6 in the West. They're just getting Kawhi back in recent time. But doing very great things, but then there's other guys that are a little bit more deserving than James. Luka Doncic, but he's been battling a lot of injuries this year. I think one of the main reasons why I think Kyrie should be an All-Star is he's played a lot of games without Luka, and they've won games. They're still number 7 in the conference. So, but Luka, he's having a great year. Just the injuries, and then obviously you got De'Aaron Fox. He's very deserving. Just the Kings really aren't having that great of a year as they did last year. But he's having an All-Star caliber year when you just look at what he's been doing and the stats and stuff like that. And then Devin Booker, that's one of my favorite players. But just not having that good of a year this year. They're number 10 in the West. And I think there's some guys who are a little bit more deserving than him this year. You know what I'm saying? This one of my favorite guys, you know what I'm saying? But he's always, deserving of the All-Star, but it is a political game in a lot of ways, and certain guys are having better years, and the team record, mainly team record, is better. So I don't think he did the thing. I don't think he really does. He should be reserved. But injury reserve, comes down to, I definitely think Devin Booker should be in there. And it's always just great to have Devin Booker in the All-Star because he is an All-Star guy. without question. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to see him in there. You know what I'm saying? But and then yeah, that's about it. Um, you know what I'm saying, that's about it. So it's always great, man. To All Star Sun weekend. I've yet to go to my All Star weekend. That's definitely something that I want to do at some point in time. Do All Star weekend. Uh, enjoy the weekend and stuff like that. But yeah, man, this is my list. Rounds out my Western Conference list, and I'm looking forward to see what the list is like on Thursday when they announce it. Um, but I definitely think it's gonna be very, very similar to what the 7 guys I named on each team, if not the exact same list that I'm, reading from. You know what I'm saying? Because this is it. I think this is it. You know what I mean? I think this is these guys are that I listed are very deserving, and it's just gonna be it. So uh, yeah, that rounds everything out. So yeah, that concludes my video for today. Pretty short one. I just wanted to just go over the All Star reserves and and round out my list of guys that I thought was deserving of the team. And um, yeah, until next time, peace out. See y'all later.